Namaskar. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for taking out your time. I understand. আমি জানি আপনারা সবাই খুব busy and you have taken out your time to be with us today with the IGNOU. But I think by the time we leave this meeting, we will understand why it was important that IGNOU should meet all the principles today, all the esteemed principles of IGNOU. I have a short presentation, a few things that I would like to discuss with you through a presentation mode. But before that, this meeting was envisaged because we realize we are all academicians before we are anything else, before we are college principals, or before we are part of the Bengal Academy or academics, or we are part of IGNOU. Before anything, আমরা বুঝতে পারছি যে এডুকেশনটা একটা খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ট্রান্সফরমেশনের থ্রুতে যাচ্ছে। And transformationটা এমনভাবে চলছে, it's almost taking the form of a challenge. It is a challenge for each and every college of this state. And not only of this state, it is happening globally. Everywhere education is going through a paradigm change. And it is also happening in our state, in West Bengal. And of course, because IGNOU Regional Center, Kolkata is also part of functioning from, in West Bengal. So it is also touching us. So we need to address this collective challenge in a collective solution through certain steps that we are going to take, which can be only taken together. আমরা একসাথে কাজ করলেই এই স্টেপগুলো নিতে পারা যাবে। আর সেই জন্য আমার আজকের এই ইনিশিয়েটিভটা আপনাদের সাথে কথা বলার, so that we can have an interaction, we can understand each other's, we can understand each other's strengths, and we can understand each other's weaknesses, and also the challenges, so that we can overcome them together. My appeal to each one of you এখানে যারা আমাদের সাথে আজকে আছেন is do hear me out, and later on you please write to me about what you agree with, what you may disagree with, but the intention remains that we need to make these changes very urgently in our state. And IGNOU, as you know, that IGNOU the main agenda of IGNOU has been democratization of education, which is to take education to every doorstep. And to take education to every doorstep, IGNOU has taken your help, your assistance, your the way you have supported us, for which we are extremely grateful for that till day. But having said that, we also understand that collectively যেটা আমাদের চ্যালেঞ্জ আছে, that is we need to make education relevant, we need to make education more innovative, we have to make education much more the face of education today has to be very different. আর এই জার্নিটাতে আমরা সবাই একই সাথে আছি, আমাদের সলিউশনস গুলো একই সাথে দেখতে হবে। তো আমার যে আপিলটা আপনাদের কাছে ছিল সেটা হলো, এখন the scenario change যেটা আমি এখানে মেনশন করব আজকে, সেটা হলো যে এই চ্যালেঞ্জেস গুলো যেগুলো আমরা অ্যাড্রেস করার জন্য করতে চাইছি, টু মেক education more democratically feasible, or maybe যাতে each and every person or each and every youth becomes attracted to education. আজকে আমরা যেটা বুঝতে পারছি যে there is a general apathy among children to come to education, and how do we as academicians come together and bring them into the path? That is where আমাদের একটা fundamental objective should be as academicians here, as thinkers, intellectuals ekhane in this state. We have to make sure that education remains the way it has remained. It has given, largely it has provided and given direction to a civilization, and even for at this stage of history also education has to do that. So jeta what are the challenges that we are facing? এই রাস্তাতে যাওয়ার জন্য আমাদের কাছে কি কি ফার্স্ট চ্যালেঞ্জ হলো গিয়ে, what is the relevance of the kind of education that we are giving? And as a result, because we started thinking about it, NEP 2020 has come in a very big, it has made an impact in a big way, because it realized that এডুকেশনের যে ফ্রেমওয়ার্কটা আমরা এতদিন ধরে চলছিল, সেই ফ্রেমওয়ার্কটার এখন কাজে লাগবে না, ওটাকে করা যাবে না। ইট ইজ নট ফিজিবল, ইট ইজ নট financially viable, it is also not feasible, because the focus group, or who are going to get educated, those people have changed, their lives have changed, or their social situation ta change hoye geche. We are today extremely technology driven. You have seen even an illiterate person today somehow operating a mobile phone in a way as though they are, I know of people who can't write one single line, but then mobile app e giye nije transaction ta nije kore niচ্ছে। সো এমন একটা সিচুয়েশন আমাদের মধ্যে আসছে, এই জেনারেশন গুলোকে পড়াশোনার মধ্যে আমরা কি করে অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে রাখবো, কি করে we will bind them together. And this binding them together, these steps cannot happen at the level of individual institutions or individual person. It has to be a collective effort. The second challenge that is coming in front of us is that of the overwhelming impact of AI generated materials, AI digitization, technological know-how, all these that are coming. So in certain ways আমাদের value system ta is getting technology driven. তো তার মধ্যে দিয়ে এই যে সিচুয়েশনস গুলো এখন হচ্ছে, এই সিচুয়েশনস গুলো আমরা কি করে অ্যাড্রেস করব, আর সেটার জন্য প্রতিটা কলেজ আমাদের সাথে যারা এতদিন ধরে আছেন, you have seen how NEP 2020 ODL কে একটা প্রাধান্য জায়গাতে নিয়ে এসছে, because ODL, open and distance learning, has never been as important as it is in today's day. But I'm extremely I feel that the outreach or the importance of ODL যেটা আমরা ফিল করছি, আর যেটা NEP 2020ও ফিল করেছে, সেই জিনিসটা কিন্তু আমাদের থ্রুতে এখনো অবধি আমরা আমাদের এফর্টস এর থ্রুতে আমরা ওটাকে প্রচার করতে পারিনি। And as a result, although all of us are realizing that open and distance learning এর যেটা flexibility আছে, যেটা issues of multiple entry and multiple exit age গুলো, যে lateral entry এগুলো যে আছে, এই advantages গুলো যেগুলো আছে to make education inclusive, that is also another quality. To make it lifelong learning, that is also a very big quality, because today education is no longer restricted with age. So এই সব ব্যাপারগুলো ODL এর যে পার্সপেক্টিভ থেকে যেটা অ্যাডভান্টেজ, it is very very relevant in today's world. And of course ODL itself was an innovation, and আজকে যখন আমরা কথা বলছি তখন আমরা বুঝতে পারছি ইভেন সোসাইটির জন্য the spirit of innovation and creativity has become so important. So that এই ইনোভেশনের স্পিরিটটা যেটা আছে, যেটা ODL itself is a very tangible example of it, that is now becoming important in every facet of life. To live through, we have to look at how far we are making our presence, our education, our knowledge system. Everything has to be within an innovative and creative model. So these are some of the challenges that are coming up, and these challenges have to be, again, as I would reiterate again, we have to do that together. We have to come together. As a result, as LSCs of all your colleges are hosting our LSCs, and that's why you are at a very advantageous position also, because you have gone through this journey for the last so many years, from 1985, so many of and also the new LSCs who have joined us today. You are at an advantageous position. But that advantageous position has to be leveraged, cannot be leveraged unless and until we come together. And this is the time when we need to come together as institutions, not just as the LSCs functions on their own. It is not a question of how well the LSC is functioning or what is the enrollment of the LSCs. No, we have to come together as two institutions the college as an institution, educational institutions of Bengal, and IGNOU as an institution which has been spearheading open and distance learning in the nation, we come together in one baton. And how does that happen? So when you have when your college has to take advantage of the opportunities that are available with IGNOU. There are a number of opportunities right now with IGNOU which needs to be outreached in proper way, because when you see the discrepancy between college enrollment and IGNOU LSC enrollment in that particular college, we understand that outreach activities haven't taken place. And if outreach activities haven't taken place for IGNOU, the college also loses, because college, that means that the college has failed to outreach the advantages to their own students. The students who come to the colleges have to be also told to what extent they can leverage the advantages of IGNOU being in their center. So as a result, এই কোলাবোরেশনটা আমি এখানে আজকের আপনাদের মিটিং এর মধ্যে এই কোলাবোরেশনটা আমি এমফাসাইজ করতে চাইবো, because I feel that it is time we all make certain efforts by which আমাদের এই কোলাবোরেশনটা যে চোখে পড়ে, not as an LSC of IGNOU, but as the college, as an institution that you have. So if a college has a enrollment number of 4,000, at least 1,000 students from there should take the advantage of the professional and skill-based programs যেটা currently IGNOUর কাছে আছে. And most of the time what is happening is, as even if you go by the latest NEP 2020 to create an outcome-based professional and skill-based education system, outcome-based করতে গেলে 3 বছরের স্টুডেন্টরা যখন বেরিয়ে আসবে, 4 বছরে যখন স্টুডেন্টরা বেরিয়ে আসবে, ওদের কাছে জেনারেল স্ট্রিমে যদি কোনো স্টুডেন্ট ঢুকেছে, তার কাছে কিন্তু এই অপশন আছে ইগনুর থেকে অনেক। আমি শেয়ার করব আপনাদের সাথে একটা স্লাইড, যেখানের মধ্যে আপনারা দেখতে পারবেন যে জেনারেল ডিগ্রির সাথে কোন কোন সার্টিফিকেট, পিজি ডিপ্লোমা অর ইভেন ডুয়াল ডিগ্রি ক্যান বি গট টুগেদার। সো যদি কোনো স্টুডেন্ট আপনাদের ওখানে একটা জেনারেল ডিগ্রি করছে, সে আরেকটা ডুয়াল ডিগ্রি প্রোগ্রামের জন্য ইগনুতে আসতে পারে। At the same time, আরেকটা সার্টিফিকেট প্রোগ্রামের জন্য যদি supposing somebody is not so willing to do so much, কোনো স্টুডেন্ট যদি এতটা প্রেশার নিতে না চায়, তবে it is possible that একটা জেনারেল ডিগ্রির সাথে আরো কয়েকটা ছোট পিজি ডিপ্লোমা করতে পারছে তার সাথে ইয়ে। But at the end of it, when they come out, that student is empowered and the degree is also outcome based, and the student can be made employable, because this is also a fundamental challenge in front of us. The kind of education, the kind of students, the outcome that is being produced from any program are ultimately found to be unemployable. I'm sure as institution head, which I face all the time, you also must be facing. Most of the people that we are trying to even recruit, or most of the students who are going out, you're trying to call back, they come to us and we see them, and they are very sadly, they are not employable. They lack skills of communication, they lack skills of writing, they lack skills of anything. And these are things. My point is, all these things have already been told to you as colleges, because now NEP 2020 is emphasizing these. So you have to anyway develop them. But the fact that you have an LSC of IGNOU, please try to take advantage of the opportunities that are available in IGNOU. I will quickly share a couple of developments that are taking place in IGNOU right now, and all of you must be aware that IGNOU has taken some special steps and some special efforts to get into the AI mode right now. So we have, after the AI summit, as a prelude to the AI summit that India has had, IGNOU headquarter had also had had coordinated an AI enabled, future ready, open and distance and digital learning a meeting which was attended by a number of institutional educational heads, and the expert from NAC very clearly said that expansion of education is not enough, because expansioner সাথে what is most required today is to make sure that the educated person is employable. That means that person has adequate skills and professional qualities, through communication or special skills or AI skills or whatever, something by which that education can be made meaningful. I mean, I will quickly share a couple of things with you. Show my screen. Yes, it just goes from here, of course. So we had this summit. This will prove to you how serious IGNOU is about AI enabled, future ready, open and distance and digital learning. And hence, all of you are aware of your learner support centers being there, LSCs being there. And I don't know how many of you as principals, because you have so many things to give your attention to, how many of you have that much time to give to IGNOU, and what are the steps that IGNOU is taking for all, through all these AI enabled preparedness. So I would like to request all of you to sometimes take out some time to see how your learner support center is functioning or faring, whether the kind of outreach that IGNOU is supposed to do, it is being done properly or not. And it is being done properly or not for some kind of an admission IGNOU enrollment which is happening somewhere else, and then you are given students as LSC, but to see whether those students actually come from your college or not, because that will mean that how meaningful IGNOU's programs and how much you have been able to leverage the opportunities of IGNOU. All right. So yes, I would like to, these are all, just to make you aware what are the resources that IGNOU has currently, and which is very ripe for a collaborative mode with the colleges. As you know, of course, because we run through our alignment with NEP 2020 and the skill enhancement and competence. I will not read out the whole thing because most of it, all of you are, you're aware of most of the things, but a few issues I would like to highlight. Then of course the dual degree and simultaneous registrations, because a student is now allowed to pursue 2 academic programs simultaneously through ODL online mode, and as per one certificate program with any other program. Admission in both program can be taken in the same admission cycle. One UG and one PG program admission has to be taken in 2 different admission cycles. And of course, you also know about the technology enabled education part, because all our admissions and all our activities happen through online mode. Submission, I'm not getting into this. Other than examination, everything today in IGNOU is digitized. Even quality SLM, the study, the learners, the study material that IGNOU has, as all of you know, that they are of a globally academic standard, and the kind of SLMs that we have is definitely much ahead of many other online materials that are available right now. And it is also available, it is digitized in a free in an open source mode, so that is there. And also the IGNOU app is there for all all student support services and for all information. The new thing that has happened is we now have 10 DTH channels. Now these DTH channels have been given to IGNOU, Kolkata Regional Center also, and we are transmitting most of our programs through these DTH channels in Bangla. So all those of you who have an issue about IGNOU programs not being there in Bangla, I would like to request you all to understand and also to outreach and to disseminate the information that these channels and the lectures which are being given are all lectures that are being taken from the from the SLMs themselves, and translated by the counselor, and then lectured on in the online DTH channels. So যদি কারোর যদি বুঝতে অসুবিধে হয়, তারা এই বাংলা চ্যানেলটার থ্রুতে ইগনুর এসএলএমটা অলমোস্ট ইন এ ট্রান্সলেটেড ভার্সনে পেয়ে যাচ্ছে। অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স স্বয়ংপ্রভা প্রজেক্ট যেটা আমাদের চলছে ইগনু কলকাতা রিজনাল সেন্টারে, আমরা কন্টিনিউয়াসলি বাংলাতে এখন আমাদের স্টাডি মেটেরিয়াল অ্যান্ড আমাদের লেকচার্সগুলো কাউন্সিলিংগুলো কন্ডাক্ট করছি। অ্যান্ড দ্য ইনোভেশন কাউন্সিল একটা, যেটা আমাদের ইগনু খুব স্ট্রংলি এনসিআইডিতে আমাদের যেটা ইগনুতে এনসিআইডি আছে সেন্টার, সেই এনসিআইডি has also given regional centers a lot of autonomy to design their programs for innovation and entrepreneurship and all that. We also have the grievance redressal management system, which is all online. And there are also exclusive programs for Agnivir and jail inmates, as you are aware. Through these programs also, you can show your efforts or your activities as an inclusive activity towards Agnivir, because these programs are also run in your LSCs. I've just singled out a couple of general programs. This is for your information, and we will have a much longer list later on, where, say, supposing the programs that you see are general programs. These are all programs that are being run in your colleges, I'm sure all of you. Now, every LSC sometimes or the other wants to activate some of these programs. যেগুলো এখানে program as a master's or a bachelor's program এখানে আছে, এগুলো আপনারা অ্যাক্টিভেট করতেই পারেন। বাট যাদের কাছে এই প্রোগ্রামগুলো অলরেডি আছে আপনাদের কলেজে, তাদের জন্যে এই যে আমি সাবসিকুয়েন্টলি সাজেস্টেড কম্বিনেশন দিয়েছি, এই পোস্ট গ্রাজুয়েট ডিপ্লোমা ইন ট্রান্সলেশন। সো ইউ ক্যান এক্সপ্লোর দিস programs as an addition to that, as an addition to একটা স্টুডেন্ট যদি মাস্টার অফ আর্টস মাস্টার্স করছে ইংলিশে, সে কি নিতে পারবে? হি ক্যান ডু সামথিং লাইক পোস্ট গ্রাজুয়েট ডিপ্লোমা ইন ট্রান্সলেশন। বাই দ্য টাইম ট্রান্সলেশনের মধ্যে অনেক এখন there are lot of opportunities coming up. So when the student is taking maybe bachelor's of business administration, that's also another so there are diplomas which are there for all these other programs which can be taken. Then you have the Masters of Social Work certificate program in NGO management and CNM bole amader ekta program ache, certificate in healthcare, waste management ache, ei programs gulo ache. So then you have Master of Science ekta environmental science. I have just segregated a couple of these things. We are going to do the rest of it also, so that it is made attractive to your college, whichever apnader college je ache. You see, Masters of Arts Education er ekhane, postgraduate diploma in higher education ache, postgraduate diploma in educational technology. These people can take this also as an added value addition program. We will share some more of these segregated things so that it becomes easier for you to understand how these collaborations can be done and how this is beneficial for your college students. I'm emphasizing this is within quote unquote, it is your college. So there is a difference between learners who get enrolled in the learner support centers er moddhe ki enrollment ache and your college. The point that we are trying to make is the college students who belong to your college also needs to avail these programs which are already there, which is as an advantage for you for being a learner support center, for hosting a learner support center for IGNOU. And of course, these are some of our, we have our QR code, which if you put it up in your website, you put it up in your, I have already instructed our coordinator that they can take out banners of all these and put up these QR codes, through which students are so technology enabled nowadays. They will they scan the QR and get all the list of programs, the prospectus, the IGNOU course, all these are activated through these scanner to these QR codes. And of course, this was a a banner which has been shared with all of you at some point of time, just to make it more visible to your students, and uh, so that it becomes more visible exactly what is IGNOU offering. So my request, I will come out of it now, and before I leave, uh, I would, this is actually an incomplete slide, because I was trying to make, and there are more things that I have. What are the different areas that we can go for a collaborative activity with your college, and you as the primary, host of the program? We can go for a collaboration with your college on an ODL outreach and NEP 2020 outreach for your own students and faculty. We can go on a collaborative program for that, where all these outreach programs will be done. We could also go for something like an outreach case for SC and ST our SC ST programs, which gives 50% 50% waiver for their fees. So that also could be another area that we can go for an outreach. We can also go for innovation. Now the idea is, which I have proposed this idea to a number of principals, and they have expressed their willingness and also their enthusiasm, and we may get into that, which is about having an innovation summit for Bengal and saying Bengal Rising. So here it will be a summit where we will have ideas who will be showcased like a seminar. It will be a seminar form, but then in each, instead of papers being presented, ideas will be presented from every different field. So we'll have panels in different areas. You can have panels in science, you can have panels in social science, you can have panels in social work, for gerontology, for any health programs. In different panels, innovative ideas of from Bengal will be, there will be a panel, expert panel in for every different session, and there will be students who will be asked to make the presentation in terms of their innovation on what they're, and so what you can understand is, you can understand the exact phase of innovation that a student is. So we get a huge event by which we find what will be the initiative that Bengal's youth or Bengal's innovation can take. We can do a kind of collaboration. And these are all ideas that I've shared, and I'm expecting all of you to get back to me with what you want. And of course, the other thing would be, about local outreach with schools around you. And this cannot happen at the LSC level. It has to happen with the support of the esteemed principal and their activities, where the different class 12 pass outs, because remember, what you are taking as entry students are actually pass out of high school class 12. So you need to outreach, and you need to sensitize those students about how open and distance learning, and it is nothing to do with NIOS anymore. It is to do with regular students who can have different, somebody can do a master's in geography and take a certificate program in geoinformatics, which is there in IGNOU. So these are ideas that will have to be outreached substantially in your own area, in a very localized context, because we are now expecting the colleges, and through your esteemed presence, each and every principal, I appeal to you, please come forward and express your willingness so that we can collaborate on this. এখানে দিয়ে দাও, বের করে দাও. Let me come out of this. Stop sharing. Yes. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for having kept you for so long, but you can understand the passion with which RC Kolkata has taken this initiative. My colleagues are here, Dr. Behra, Dr. Shantanu Mukherjee. They're trying, all the time. They're visiting this center, monitoring. The workload on IGNOU has now risen substantially with monitoring. So we expect that as representatives of IGNOU and the host of IGNOU as principals, you also keep an eye on all the activities that are happening in the LSCs, and you have a direct communication. I'm available all the time for any queries, any ideas that you want to share, because let us remember one thing: we are in this boat together. We have to make education relevant, we have to make education inclusive, you have to make sure that education reaches each and every doorstep. Sitting in Kolkata, it is not possible for me to have this, so I depend on my LSCs to a large extent, and there are some extremely active coordinators who are helping us out a lot. But at the same time, they need the blessings of college principals. We need the support of college principals to come ahead and join us and make us go through with so that we can take this movement forward. Dr. Mukherjee, are you Dr. Mukherjee? Yes, Dr. Mukherjee also has, Dr. Mukherjee will now take over from here. Dr. Mukherjee, please.
Thank you, madam. As we'll be discussing certain functions of learner support centers, that is IGNOU study centers, because as the head of the institution, you must be aware of the function that is required to be performed by the particular LSC in order to meet the standards of IGNOU. The first and foremost, of course, the promotion and publicity, as madam already emphasized. Now, it requires the information and to the prospectives and as well as the enrolled learners. Prospective learners are those learners who are coming to your institutions regarding inquiries about IGNOU, or the learners who are at the various schools in the vicinities of your colleges, or maybe in around the catchment area of your colleges, who will be taking admission into the colleges and university and pursue the higher education. So these are the prospective learners who will be time and again will be visiting your campus. They need to be told about the study centers available in your college and the study centers offering these are all programs under the umbrella of Indira Gandhi National Open University. So this is what the information college could provide. In that regard, I would suggest that you give a page or some kind of URL in your website. If the college has website, it can give an URL to particular to IGNOU, where the prospective learners who is visiting the IGNOU, these college websites can directly get the information about the study centers being run by the college for IGNOU. So that is one thing for giving information of the prospective as well as the enrolled learner. Now, second job is, of course, identify the part-time staff who will be doing certain amount of job, at least 20 hours of duty they will be providing to the university, and they will be suitably remunerated for that effort. Part-time staff can be taken from your in-house staff of the colleges, or can also be taken from outside, from adjacent colleges and universities. So the part-time staff structure I will be discussing later on. Now the next task will be to empanelment of academic counselors, that the teachers will be taking classes. That job mostly done by the coordinators and the assistant coordinators, and that is, we have a one portal regarding that OAC portal. They usually go and they register themselves as the one of the counselors of IGNOU in various programs. Next job is to organize the induction meeting for the newly enrolled learners. We have 2 sessions each year, that is in January and July. So that students will be taking admission, and for that the induction program will be organized after their the admission process is over. So that induction program is to be organized in the college itself. Now, next job will be the organizing counseling. That is, in common parlance, we understand the classes, the practicals, audio video programs, teleconference sessions, seminars, etc., as per the requirement of the program activity. So that is also organized in consultation with the head of the institution, the coordinator, and the assistant coordinator of the particular IGNOU study center. The next job is to receive the assignment responses from the learners. That is also being done by the part-time staff and the coordinator and assistant coordinators. Then it is sent for evaluation to the academic counselors, and once academic counselors return the evaluated assignment responses, these should be done within the 45 days of the last cutoff date of submission of assignments, and then forwarding these assignment grades to the regional center for entry in the prescribed format, that is award list. Next job in the LSC is the maintenance of records of IGNOU learners. That will be done. Records include the cash books, ledgers, and other things, as well as the maintenance of admission data, the assignment data, and all these things. It should be maintained in the study centers by the part-time staff of the IGNOU. Maintenance of furniture and equipment supplied by the university. University time and again supplies some of the equipments and furniture fixtures to the study centers. That stock entry should be done by the coordinators and the likes. Maintenance of accounts, as I said, cash book, ledgers, and the vouchers are not should be maintained for the verification later on. Then preparing weekly feedback report, that is to be for the counselors and evaluation of the assignments. Generally, that is sent through the MMR, that is monthly monitoring report. Coordinators are aware of that. They are sending RC electronically. And then last but not the least, of course, the conducting the term and examination. Whosoever has been chosen as the one of the term and examinations of the particular regions have to do certain functions, which is little bit different from the day-to-day activities. The term and examination is conducted twice in a year, in the month of June and in the month of December. This is a month-long program, sometimes spills over to maybe 10 or 15 days of the next month, July and January, respectively. And this exam is conducted Monday to Saturday. Sunday, no exam is conducted, and exams are not conducted during the government holidays. So it's a month-long program. Two sessions are there. Morning and the evening sessions are there. Morning session starts from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and evening 2 to 5 p.m. So this is a pan-India program, and these examinations is conducted throughout the country as well as abroad in the same time and same manner. Now, organization and the conduct of academic counseling is the biggest activity of learner support centers. As I said, the identification of academic counselor is one of the tasks that the coordinators and the assistant coordinators generally do. They actually motivate the other academic counselors or teachers in the college to take active part in the counseling of IGNOU, and they, may I add that they are suitably remunerated for taking class on the class basis. Now, these scheduling of counseling session, theory and practical, is done by the coordinator and being forwarded to the RC for the approval in the prescribed format. Now, keeping the attendance of the learners, maintenance of the attendance records, particularly for the practical component where 75% attendance is compulsory. For the theory, the classes are being taken when we're preparing the bill. The attendance of the students are a must. Next, the payment of the counseling charges for the academic counselors as per the norms of the universities are performed by the RCs. Once you send the bill, it will be scrutinized and it will be passed for payment. And the payment is made directly to the accounts of the counselors, uh, and not to the IGNOU Study Center's account. Other administrative expenses are being reimbursed to the IGNOU Study Center account. IGNOU norms for delivery of the courses, in a nutshell, if I describe, if it's a 2 credit course, credit, all of you are knowing must be, is a particular measurement for the study that is being done to do a particular portion of your text. Say for 2 credits, you may be requiring 33 sessions, almost 6 hours. In case of practical, you require 60 hours. Like 4 credits, you require 6 sessions. If it's a practical, 120 hours, and likewise. So credits is more or less, if you spend 30 hours of study, it requires 30 hours of study to complete 1 credit. So this is the credit system IGNOU has been following since its inception. Credit system has been introduced by the Government of India lately in 2018 in form of CBCS, credit-based choice system, that you have been practicing now. So this credit system is also been practiced outside India for quite long time, and most of the prominent universities of the world have been following this credit system for quite long time. Now, academic counseling sessions are only be organized if there is more than 10 students in a particular program. Then if there is students are not coming to the counseling sessions, as I said, the theory counselings are not compulsory, then you have to follow the intensive counseling, where the 40% of the total prescribed course time will be allotted for the counseling. Next is, of course, assignment handling. Assignment handling is done in terms of facilitating the student, facilitating the students to download the assignments from the IGNOU website. And then, of course, once they write those assignments in a plain paper, A4 size paper with clear margin, in their handwritten response, it is accepted, and one receipt is given to them as an acknowledgement for the receipt of the assignments. And these assignments are collected and sent to the assignment evaluators, that is counselors, for evaluation. Within 45 days, this evaluation should be done, and the evaluated assignment should be returned to the students with global marks, general comments, and all these comments should be there in the assignment itself, so that the students who will get the assignment back will be able to understand that what are the things he needs to write in order to get the maximum marks. It will help him in preparation for his term and examination. So once you have collected the marks from the counselor, you send these marks in a prescribed format, that is our list, to the RC for entry. Now, theory counseling and theory assignments is one type. Practical counseling is a little bit of different. As I said, 75% of the attendance is required for conduction of practical examination. If a student fail to attend the 75% attendance in a particular practical classes, he should be debarred from taking the examination. So that is to be kept in mind. The LSCs prepare the counseling schedule as they are prepared for theory classes, the practical also, and sent to the regional center for approval. The spell of this practical should be organized generally during the lenient period of the post institution, during the summer vacation and the puja vacations, where for the 1 or 2 weeks the consolidated practicals are being conducted, and that schedule should be drawn and should be sent to the RC for approval. Now, this practical examination marks should be sent original to the RC in the designated prescribed format, and that should bear the signature of the evaluator as well as the coordinators. LSC should provide the library services. For that, the library books are being provided to the LSCs, and these are no lending library, so student cannot take the books to their home, but they can study at the LSC itself and can submit the used library books for the safety. There should be a teleconferencing facility in the LSCs. We have provided earlier the DRS and SIT satellite interactive terminals. Now, with the advent of the technology, two-way video and audio teleconference has started mostly on internet base. So we can also take the facility of the IGNOU webcast and the IGNOU one window system. Madam has discussed about the various DTH channels, like we have 4 DTH channels: G, Ganderson 1, 2, 3, and 4. Apart from that, we have Gyan Gani also, that is the interactive radio counseling programs being done. Then we have certain Bengali languages, vernacular languages, DTH also, that is we call is Sam Prabha. And recently we have also introduced another 11 channels of DTH, which is also airing some of the programs and classes regularly. Promotion and publicity, as I said, can be used in various symposia, in seminars, in some of the college medias like website, like Facebook channel, or maybe some of the social media platforms that college has been using officially, that can also be used. The Government of India through Ministry of Education has introduced the SIAM platform, which can also be used to disseminate informations. And of course, there are certain massive open online courses are also available through science. There can be also explored into the students who are interested can do these courses, that is going to help them uh, developing their skills and capacity for their future prospects. Now, I will quickly show some of the slides I want to share with you. So that can be so this is initially we have prepared for this establishment of learning support centers and exam centers for IGNOU, that are the principles of colleges which have already established the LSCs. So this is no longer relevant. So I will switch to the third slide, because as a principal of a college, you must be aware that what are all requirements that IGNOU has in terms from college. Space and other requirements is 1 or 2 rooms of 500 to 800 square feet for coordinator has to be given. If it is not given so far, it must be given, because as I said, the coordinator, teachers as well as students will be coming for the library facilities, submission of assignments. That much of space is required. So please cooperate with us. Give that much of, at least that much of space for functioning of coordinator, functioning of the LSCs smoothly. Then LSC should have an audiovisual room that is will facilitate them to access the rest of the lectures that is available through our various media platforms. So that AV room should be available not only for the IGNOU, the college students can also access. Principal and coordinator together can have explore that possibility. That will be beneficial to everybody. We give to LSCs 5 sets of self-learning materials for the academic counselors, which is very useful to the students and as well as the teachers. Now, those study centers who have activated the practical components of, they require to maintain the facilities, and payments will be made by the IGNOU as per the norms. Host institutions should provide prominent place to IGNOU signboard. This is very important, as I was emphasizing earlier on. The people do not know that a IGNOU setup is there in the college. If there is no IGNOU signboard in the college, it will be very difficult for anybody to understand that there is an international university which is functioning the study center in your college. So please uh, give a space so that the IGNOU can put a signboard for its declaring its presence in your college. Now I will move quickly forward. Uh, these are now these are the now this is important because this is it shows the counselor's login. It's a OAC portal developed by IGNOU where a teacher can go and register himself by giving his credential, PAN number, and all these things, and then he can apply to become one of the counselors of IGNOU. Now, what are the eligibilities of a teacher who can take classes in IGNOU? He must be an assistant professor with 5 years of teaching experience without PhD. If he has a PhD, he must have 3 years of college teaching experience. Uh, Different programs have different criteria. Of course, that is obvious. A master degree has a different criteria, a bachelor's degree a different criteria, and then of course a computer program has a different criteria from a management program. So all these things are different. And apart from all this, the academic counselors should have the familiarity of audio system and ICT enabled learning, that is information and communication technology based learning. That means he has the ability to take class in Google Classroom or maybe a Facebook Live or something like that. Now, this is the appointment letter that is generated by the OAC portal and sent to the email address of the particular teacher. Now, this is important as far as the staff of the PT staff of the LSCs is required. If your student enrollment is up to 100, you will be getting one coordinator and one assistant and one attendant and one safai wala. And subsequently, if the enrollment increases, like 100 to 250, you will have one assistant coordinator and one assistant, one attendant, one safai wala increase. That means safai wala will remain one, assistant and attendant will increase, and likewise, like up to maybe above 2,500, there is a thing. Now, function as I described, these are the nutshell, is the function of running and LSC. Payment norms is for UG program, a counselor will get 770 rupees, and that is for theory counseling, and for PG program it's 1100 rupees. For practical counseling of all programs up of undergraduate programs, that is 4 hours duration, is 880 rupees, and practical counseling for PG programs is again 1100 rupees. Now there is separate conveyance charges, and likewise these charges are there. You must be knowing that the head of the institution also getting a remuneration from IGNOU per month. Now, if you want to establish an exam centers, these are the criterias. You should have airy, well-lit room halls for sufficient number of invisitors, that is faculties, for one invigilator for every 25 examiners. Then if you are because examination is mostly computer based, mostly portal based, so all the information data has to be fed in the computer, so the dedicated computer should be there with an EQS and printer. If an exam center is running CBT exam, that is computer based test exam centers, like we have been doing in the Derosier College, that center should have more number of computers, that is the number of computers will be similar tantamount to number of examinees, and EQS and printer as per the candidates. Now, why I should emphasis on giving an exam centers? Because as you must be knowing who have the exam centers already in your study centers, this is the only avenue by which the college can earn little bit of money in terms of keeping exam centers or study centers. So otherwise, IGNOU is taking your campuses for free. It's not paying any rent for utilizing your classrooms, not paying any rents for giving a room to the coordinators and others, establish AV rooms, nothing we are paying. But in exam centers, we are paying handsome money. So exam center is a beneficial thing for the study center as well as the college. So these are the pro forma. Now these are the functionaries of exam centers if it is being established. So that all is separately remunerated apart from the usual part-time job at IGNOU. These are the T rate for center superintendent for one session, 500 rupees now, 400 rupees for per session for each invigilator. So likewise, all these things are there. So this is in nutshell I want to discuss vis-a-vis the what the center has to do and what center has to get out of all this. So as we coming to the conclusion, of course, the thing is that IGNOU is a mega university. As well, knowing we have around 4 million students, and of course, more than 25 PI centers across the globe. So it's a behemoth you want to be tagged into and take maximum benefit out of it. And if you are utilizing your space and your human resources judicially, IGNOU probably an occasion and of course area where you can utilize these unutilized resources. So you think about the what and all way you are required to address all these issues, and IGNOU is always there to help you in this regard. We have been observing a rare bit of keep down enrollment erosions, like colleges have also uh, encountered. But ours clientele is a little bit different from yours. Our clientele is mostly those who are working or those who have already left the higher education and settled themselves somewhere else. They have certain other vocations or vocations like housewives, like maybe the elderly people who want to add on their qualification out of their interest. All these communities are there which needed to be tapped. I talked about only the catchment area in terms of schools, but that is not the entire thing as far as the IGNOU is concerned. So, word of mouth uh, thing also has kind of a greater effect. So, if you are going to provide a better student support service in your college, that will spread, and that will, through the word of mouth, it will stand in good stead in attracting the students. So I honestly request you that give it a good window through your college, either through creating a maybe a banner or maybe through websites, your social media, so that people must know that an international university has opened its teaching learning center in your college, and that will not only help you in your uh, other endeavors like your knack performance and others, but of course it will help you establishing your credential in the community that you prefer to serve. So that is my humble request. So please come forward and give maximum time and maximum effort so that the students who are studying can be very satisfied in terms of getting all the supports. And that is the main thing we require from you in order to establish our potential in the students community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mukherjee. Thank you. And so I think we. I would like to take some questions from you, and also a screenshot, if I may request all of you to come on the video to have a thing, so we at least, I at least know you by face, because I have not met some of you, I think, till now. Yes, madam, thank you so much for coming. I think you've raised your hand also. So we are, if the others don't mind, so I can't see anybody, but of course you can always interact. You can interact. Yes, ma'am, you are also there, so that's nice. And anyone else, so we can be on the quickly one glimpse of all the photos coming together, so we can have a screenshot for which we will share with all of you also. So yes, thank you so much for, we'll take a screenshot. Just give us 2 minutes for all of you who are attending this meeting. Yes. And also, please raise your hand. I saw Madam Kanjilal will be talking, but others also keep yourself ready to tell us and interact and your problems, and how you think IGNOU can be strengthened more in Bengal, and in this districts that we are operating. This is time we all got together. আমাদের সবার একসাথে কাজ করতে হবে, আর আমাদের, আপনি দেখছেন আমাদের সবার ইন্টেনশন এখানে আছে আপনাদের সাথে একসাথে কাজ করার জন্য। ডক্টর মুখার্জি, ডক্টর বেহরা, আমরা সবাই এখানে, we just want any kind of direction that you will also tell us how we can strengthen this collaboration, because এখন যতটা আপনাদেরও আমাদেরকে দরকার, আর আমাদেরও আপনাদেরকে দরকার to do the right. It is not, it is a question of mutual interest for the sake of the learners. So photographটা হয়ে যাক এক্ষুনি, তাড়াতাড়ি একটু, just did you get them all? Yes, I can see. Yes, 2809, and quickly. Acha? হ্যাঁ, ওকে, সো উই আর ডান উইথ দিস। ম্যাডাম কাঞ্জিলাল, your issue, তারপরে আপনাদের কারোর যদি কিছু বলার থাকে, it was a one sided direct discussion and deliberation, so we'd also request you to give your perspective, because আপনারা grassroots এ কাজ করছেন, you know what the situation is, we can tell you a lot of things. Yes madam, bolun.
Very good afternoon to all the esteemed principals, and also to Dr. Hajarika ma'am, always very much helpful, providing all kinds of support to us.
Thank you so much.
যেটা আমার কয়েকটা প্রশ্ন আছে, খুব তাড়াতাড়ি বলবো।
হ্যাঁ বলুন।
প্রথম যে are you going to open that offline classes in the colleges?
Yes,
You have
yes,
it
we have
on-
already. I think the counseling department has already sent an email regarding our 100, মানে 60-40 একটা rule আছে, depending on the enrollment এর উপরে. So we, our physical classes are already on. It is, I think we've already started and emails have already gone. So rest assured, the physical classes are also starting.
বাট ফর দ্যাট ম্যাডাম, আপনারা কি কোনো মানে যেটা একটু আগে উনি বলছিলেন, কোনো রেন্ট ফর দ্য মানে ইনস্টিটিউশন কি প্রোভাইড করবেন? কারণ অনলাইন একরকম অ্যান্ড অফলাইন ইজ এ ডিফারেন্ট থিং। কারণ ক্লাস যদি চলে তাহলে তার একটা তো অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্ট আমাদের করতে হয়, তো তার জন্য যদি আপনারা কিছু রেন্ট প্রোভাইড করেন কলেজকে তাহলে খুব ভালো হয়। মানে
আচ্ছা, আমি আপনার আপনি একটু চ্যাট বক্সেও দিয়ে রাখুন ওটা।
No,
And
no,
I
I
will
must
forward this.
interview. I must
আচ্ছা,
interview.
হ্যাঁ বলুন বলুন ডক্টর মুখার্জি,
The
because
thing
ডক্টর,
is that
হ্যাঁ
you have signed an MOU with us where it has been clearly mentioned that all the facilities, whether the classes, whether you are providing the facility to sit for these coordinators and assistant coordinators and part-time staff, will be rent-free. This agreement has been since the beginning. This understanding between IGNOU and the college authority is since the beginning. So it is our established policy that we are not going to provide any rent whatsoever for the classes and the first seating arrangement for the coordinators and the part-time staff. Apart from that, if we are using the practicals in the practical rooms, that rent will be given. And of course, using the computers, that rent will be given for taking practicals for BCA, MCA. In case of you are organizing examination, that rent will be given in terms of 10,6 rupees that you'll check it out from the coordinators, exam who are being conducted. So that provision is there. But regarding the usual classes that is being taken Saturdays, Sundays, that rent will not be borne by the university in any circumstances.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. A second thing is that, as Madam said, which will be very much helpful for both of us, যেটা স্টুডেন্টদের কাছে অলরেডি আমরা এরকম ওরিয়েন্টেশন আমাদের কলেজে করিয়েছি। গতবারও ইগনু থেকে একজন ছিলেন আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদের বোঝানো, ফাইনাল ইয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, সো দ্যাট দে ক্যান টেক অ্যাডমিশন ইন ইগনু। সেটা আমরা কন্টিনিউয়াস করি, এবছরও করবো ম্যাডাম, আমরা বলেই রাখলাম। অ্যান্ড I have a conversation with you last year that you said যে আশেপাশে স্কুলগুলোতে ওরিয়েন্টেশন, এটাতে আমি নিশ্চয়ই সব রকম ভাবে কোঅপারেট করতে রাজি আছি। ইফ ইউ ক্যান কাম ফরওয়ার্ড, কিভাবে করা যায়, বিকজ এখানকার অনেক স্কুল প্রিন্সিপালসদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় আছে, অফকোর্স উই ক্যান অ্যারেঞ্জ দ্যাট।
that is an excellent proposal, because আমি যেটা বলছিলাম ক্লাস 12 এর স্টুডেন্টস দেরকে and that ওরা যাতে টিচারদের, আপনি একটা প্রপোজাল, একটা ফর্ম করুন, আমাদেরকে জানান, and let's see how we can take that up. তো মাল্টিপল ইনস্টিটিউশনস ইনভলভ হলে, এখন বুঝতেই পাচ্ছেন দ্য রিজন আমি আপনাদের সবাইকে এখানে এনেছি is because we have to do something in an institutional level, like getting different institutions together, so different high schools together, that will also make a thing, because apni ekta proposal amaderke din, and that is very very proactive thinking madam, you just do that.
We can do one thing, that আমাদের যে orientation হবে, on that day we can invite the students, class 12 students, so they can join. So
Absolutely.
সেটাতে হতে পারে, and if you can arrange your time to come, or
Yeah,
anybody
sure.
from?
I mean, I'm really actually all three of us are absolutely at your disposal. যখনই আপনারা করবেন আমাদের মধ্যে কেউ না কেউ থাকবেই, আমরা চেষ্টা করব ওটাকে টাইমটাকে কোলাবোরেট করতে। আর এখানে আমি আরেকটা কথা বলতে চাইবো, ফর all of you are LSC রা যারা এখানে ইন্ডাকশনটা করে, my request to all of you is that ইন্ডাকশনটা তো সেকেন্ড, এখানে ইন্ডাকশনের কথাও বলেছেন ডক্টর মুখার্জি, বাট দ্য ফার্স্ট পার্ট অফ ইট ক্যান বি অ্যান আউটরিচ প্রোগ্রাম, যেখানে ধরুন আপনারা আপনাদের লোকালি ইউ ক্যান কল ইয়োর সাম ইম্পর্টেন্ট পার্সন, স্পেশাল গেস্ট একজন আসলো, ওখানের মধ্যে কলেজের স্টুডেন্টদের ডাকা হলো অ্যাজ অ্যান আউটরিচ। সেকেন্ড পার্ট ক্যান বি অ্যান ইন্ডাকশন, সো দ্যাট উই ক্যান মার্জ বোথ দ্য প্রোগ্রামস টুগেদার, ইট বিকামস মোর থিং। তো প্রথম দিকটা আমি এটা এখানে আই মিন মৌলানা আজাদের, আই ডোন্ট নো ডক্টর দত্ত আছে কিনা এখন, উনি বোধহয় ছিলেন, but we have done a program like this in Maulana Azad and it was a very good, very big success, because prothom dikta was a was some kind of an outreach about NEP 2020 and ODL, আর যেখানে স্টুডেন্টদেরকে, কলেজের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে জানানো হলো যে ওডিএলটা কি, ব্যাপার কি, সবকিছু বলা হলো, অ্যাডভান্টেজ কি আছে, অপরচুনিটি কি আছে। there was a chief guest who was there was a special counselor for health program যাকে আমরা ডেকেছিলাম, উনি বললেন হেলথ প্রোগ্রামের বিষয়ে ওদেরকে। তো এটা প্রথম পার্টটা যদি 1 ঘন্টা ওটা থাকে, সেকেন্ড পার্টটা আপনারা ইন্ডাকশন ইন দ্য নর্মাল মোড করা যেতে পারে। সো ইউ ক্যান মার্জ 2 programs together একটা দিনের মধ্যে, optimizing our resources, that becomes a thing. I'm sorry, I have 2809 here. I am going to address Purulia very much. Purulia, আপনি ছিলেন এখানে এক্ষুনি, I was just Dr. Shantanu Chattopadhyay, he just went anyway. হ্যাঁ, Purulia JK College. Madam, is that all? Can we?
Madam, আমাদের প্রবলেম আমাদের
ডক্টর চট্টোপাধ্যায়, আপনি 2 মিনিট একটু দাঁড়াবেন, আমি ম্যাডামের সাথে কথা বলেই আপনার সাথে কথা বলতে চাইবো, because there are few things going on in my mind. Last time আপনার সাথে কথা বলা হলো না, I have this advantage to ম্যাডাম শেষ করে নিক, আমি তারপরে আপনার সাথে কথা বলছি।
ওকে ওকে।
অনেকদিন ধরেই MBA, MCom and MSc জিওগ্রাফি এটার জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করেছি। ম্যাডাম একটু প্লিজ লুক আফটার দিস, অনেক স্টুডেন্ট আসছে। অ্যানাদার থিং, আপনারা অনেক প্রফেশনাল কোর্স করছেন, যেরকম নার্সিং, আমাদের মেয়েদের কলেজ, যদি এগুলো একটু পারমিশন দেন, স্পেশালি বিএডটা আমরা ভীষণভাবে করতে চাই, আমাদের কলেজের স্টুডেন্টরাই করবে, মানে দে উইল টেক দ্য গ্র্যাজুয়েশন ডিগ্রি, অ্যান্ড প্রচুর ওরা বিএড করে অন্যান্য জায়গায়, এবং দুর্গাপুরে অ্যাজ সাচ ভালো বিএড কলেজ নেই সেরকম। তো আমরা যদি এটা করতে পারি ম্যাম, খুব ভালো হবে ফর IGNOU and also for us. Please look after this matter. এটা আমাদের
একটা যেটা ইস্যু হয়েছে সেটা তো আপনারা জানেনই, বিএড এর এখন যেটা ইট ইজ আন্ডার লাইক বিএড এর যেটা আমাদের আগের যেরকম বিএড এর স্ট্রেংথ ছিল তার থেকে এখন বিএড এর আর প্লাস আজকাল আমরা প্রোগ্রাম সেন্টারও তো করা হয় না, সো দেয়ার আর সাম ইস্যুস, বাট ইউ গিভ আস আ প্রপোজাল, উইল সি হাউ দিস ক্যান বি ডান।
ওকে,
Okay,
but at the same time
also
সেখানেই হবে ম্যাডাম, বিএড সেখানেই হবে যেগুলো বিএড কলেজ অলরেডি। সুতরাং বিএড কলেজ ছাড়া আপনার তো জেনারেল ডিগ্রি কলেজ, বলে ওখানে বিএড হবে না।
ও বিএডটা করে,
হ্যাঁ বিএডটা হবে না। আপনার যেটা হতে পারে
নার্সিংটা হবে, নার্সিং,
হ্যাঁ নার্সিংও হবে না, নার্সিং কলেজ হলেই হবে।
ও
এমবিএ হতে পারে, এমসিএ হতে পারে, এই প্রফেশনাল ডিগ্রিগুলো হতে পারে।
MBA, MCom and MSc জিওগ্রাফি, এই তিনটা।
এমএসসি জিওগ্রাফি যদি আপনার জিওগ্রাফি অলরেডি থাকে
আছে,
তাহলে হতে পারে।
আপনি তবে ওখানে ইয়েটাও করতে পারেন, আপনি ডু দ্য সার্টিফিকেট ইন জিও ইনফরমেটিক্স যেটা আছে জিওগ্রাফির সাথে, ওইটাকেও আপনি করে নিতে পারেন ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ জিওগ্রাফি। বাট আপনি একবার আমাদের অন্য প্রোগ্রামগুলোকেও দেখে নেবেন, যে বিকজ ইউ সেড দে আর উইমেন সেন্ট্রিক, এখানে অনেকগুলো সোশ্যাল ওয়ার্ক রিলেটেড অনেকগুলো প্রোগ্রাম আছে। আমি একটা ব্রিফ স্লাইড আপনাদের সাথে শেয়ার করেছিলাম কয়েকটা প্রোগ্রাম নিয়ে, এই প্রোগ্রামগুলো আছে। সো এমএসসি যদি জিওগ্রাফি করছেন, তার সাথে আপনি সার্টিফিকেট ইন জিও ইনফরমেটিক্সটাও করে নিন ওই এরিয়াতে যদি নেই, তো ইট উইল হেল্প মেকিং দ্য দিস। আচ্ছা, আই উইল ফার্স্ট টেক স্পিক টু পুরুলিয়া। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ম্যাডাম, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। উইল ট্রাই টু ডু, ইউ গিভ মি আ প্রপোজাল। হ্যাঁ, পুরুলিয়ার ডক্টর শান্তনু চট্টোপাধ্যায়, নমস্কার। নমস্কার। কালকে আমাদের কদিন আগে এক LSCর যে মিটিং হয়েছিল কোঅর্ডিনেটরের সাথে, তখন কয়েকটা কথা আমরা বলেছিলাম যে JK পুরুলিয়াকে কি করে আমাদের সাথে একটু, উই আর এক্সপেক্টিং আপনার কলেজটা একটু অ্যাক্টিভলি আমাদের সাথে অ্যাসোসিয়েট করবে, বিকজ পুরুলিয়া বিইং আ ডমিনেন্ট এরিয়া ফর শিডিউল ট্রাইবস অ্যান্ড ওখানে আপনাদের ST পপুলেশন আছে। আমরা বুঝতে পারছি ভাষার একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে, যেটা বাংলাতে আছে সেটা আপনাদের একটা প্রবলেম, বাট বিসাইডস দ্যাট কিভাবে আমরা এটাকে রিজলভ করতে পারি সেটা আপনি আমাদেরকে বলুন, বিকজ কলকাতা রিজনাল সেন্টার আপনাদের এই কলেজটার মধ্যে উই আর স্পেশালি ট্রাইং টু upgrade your quality of the LSC ওখানে, যাতে আমাদের আরো ইন্টারভেনশন হতে পারে। কি করা যায় বলুন তো?
আমি SC/ST স্টুডেন্টের যে এনরোলমেন্ট বাড়াবার চেষ্টাটা, আমার SC হোস্টেল, সেন্ট্রাল SC হোস্টেল আছে, ST হোস্টেল, এবং ওই স্টুডেন্টের থ্রুতে যারা আমাদের রেগুলার স্টুডেন্ট, আমরা চেষ্টা করেছিলাম গতবার তাদের কনকারেন্টলি অন্য সার্টিফিকেট কোর্সে ভর্তি করার জন্য। simultaneously they can perform in our regular degree course with IGNOU certificate course. Some of them taken enrollment there. আর যেটা হচ্ছে আমার জিওলজির অনার্সের স্টুডেন্টরা জিও ইনফরমেটিক্স করতে চাইছে, ওটাকে আমাকে অ্যাক্টিভেশন করার প্রয়োজন আছে না ডাইরেক্ট অ্যাডমিশন? জিও ইনফরমেটিক্স আমার জিওলজি অনার্স মেজর স্টুডেন্ট যারা আছে বা জিওগ্রাফি স্টুডেন্ট যারা আছে,
আমাদের একটা অ্যাক্টিভেশন আপনার করতে হবে, কারণ একটা আমাদের যেটা অ্যাক্টিভেশন করা এখানে আছে সেটা কলকাতায়, বাট আপনার কনভিনিয়েন্সের জন্য আপনার ওখানে অ্যাক্টিভেশনের জন্য দিয়ে দিন। আপনার তো টিচার্স আছে, টিচার্স আর তো ওখানে প্রোগ্রামটা চলছে।
সাফিশিয়েন্ট নাম্বার অফ টিচার্স। আমাদের ইউজি চলে, পিজি নয়। ইউজি আছে, ইউজি অনলি। মেজর
ইউজি হলেও হবে।
ইউজি মেজর
ডক্টর মুখার্জি,
হ্যাঁ দুটোতেই, জিওগ্রাফি এন্ড জিওলজি।
হ্যাঁ ডক্টর মুখার্জি, হবে তো, তাই না?
জিওগ্রাফি আপনাদের ওখানে কি মাস্টার ডিগ্রি চলছে?
না, আমাদের ইউজি আছে, এখানে আছে, মেজর কোর্স আছে, জিওলজিতে আছে, আর জিওলজিতেও আছে মেজর।
আচ্ছা,
আন্ডার মেজর মাস্টার ডিগ্রি নেই, গ্র্যাজুয়েশন আছে।
গ্র্যাজুয়েশন আছে না?
হ্যাঁ, 4 ইয়ার্স গ্র্যাজুয়েশন।
4 ইয়ার গ্র্যাজুয়েশন তো এখন সব জায়গায় মোটামুটি আমাদেরও হয়েছে। তাহলে ওখানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি যেটা আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি চায় সেটা হচ্ছে অলরেডি রানিং মাস্টার ডিগ্রি থাকলে ওখানে মাস্টার ডিগ্রি দেয়। আপনাদের মাস্টার ডিগ্রি কোন কোন সাবজেক্টে আছে?
আমাদের মাস্টার ডিগ্রি বা ইংলিশ, হিস্ট্রি এন্ড ম্যাথমেটিক্স, আর এবারে বায়োসায়েন্সে করতে যাচ্ছি আমরা।
আচ্ছা,
আর জিওলজি আমাকে ইউনিভার্সিটি অনেকদিন থেকে অফার করছে, কিন্তু প্রবলেম হচ্ছে সাফিসিয়েন্ট নাম্বার অফ স্টুডেন্ট পাবো না। কেন? আমার কলেজের স্টুডেন্টরা বাইরে বেরিয়ে যায়, আর স্টুডেন্ট নেই অন্য কোথাও। জিওলজি পাচ্ছি না, জিওগ্রাফি আমাদের 4 ইয়ার অনার্স আছে।
ঠিক আছে, আপনি জিওগ্রাফি অ্যাপ্লাই করে দেখুন। এখনই ডেফিনেটলি বলতে পারছি না, মোস্টলি ওরা প্রেফার করে যেখানে অলরেডি এমএসসি জিওগ্রাফি আছে। যদি আপনি অ্যাপ্লাই করে দিন, তারপর দেখা যাচ্ছে যদি
আপনি একটা জাস্টিফিকেশন দিয়ে অ্যাপ্লাই করুন যে আপনাদের তো এমনি তো এটা এসটি বেল্ট, এন্ড এসটি বেল্টের মধ্যে একটা স্পেশাল কনসিডারেশন ফর দেয়ার আর এত ডিমান্ড আছে, এরকম বলে স্টুডেন্ট এত অ্যাপ্লাই করবে, ভর্তি হতে চাইবে, এরকম বলে একটা জাস্টিফিকেশন
রিসোর্স পারসন জোগাড় করতে পারবো। ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে, আমার এখানে ইউনিভার্সিটি আছে, সেখান থেকে আমি রিসোর্স পারসন আনতে পারবো। স্টুডেন্টও আসতে পারে স্যার, ওখান থেকে স্টুডেন্টও আসতে পারে। এসকেবি ইউনিভার্সিটি, এসকেবি ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে আমি নিয়ে আসতে পারবো রিসোর্স পারসন।
তো আপনি ওরকম ভাবে একটা জাস্টিফিকেশন দিন, কারণ আপনার সেন্টারটা স্পেশালি আমি বলছি কেন, we can probably request for certain waivers because your area is dominant ST area, তো সেখানে তো কয়েকটা জিনিস তো ওয়েভার করা যদি আমরা স্পেশালি আমরা চেষ্টা করতে পারি, চেষ্টা করি দেখা যাক কি করা যায়, বাট ডেফিনেটলি আপনার কলেজকে একটুখানি আরো প্রোঅ্যাক্টিভলি আসতে হবে, আর একটুখানি ভিজিবল হতে হবে। এখন ইনক্লুসিভ এডুকেশনের জন্য SC STর রোলটা, মানে টু টেক ইট টু দ্যাট উইমেন, SC ST এইসবের ব্যাপারে আমরা আপনার যেগুলো কতগুলো প্রোগ্রাম আমরা ট্রান্সলেশনের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারি, যে এই কতগুলো প্রোগ্রাম আছে যেটা যদি বাংলাতে ট্রান্সলেট করে ওরকম ভাবেও আপনার ডিমান্ড অনুযায়ী, তো আপনি এরকম ভাবে অ্যাপ্লাই করুন। ইউ গিভ আস এ জাস্টিফিকেশন ফর ইয়োর ডিমান্ড ইন দ্যাট এরিয়া এন্ড দেন উই উইল ডু ইট।
ম্যাডাম আরেকটা বড় প্রবলেম হয়েছে, আমাদের কোঅর্ডিনেটর পোস্টটা ভ্যাকেন্ট হয়ে আছে, অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর চার্জে আছেন। আমরা ডক্টর লোকেশ চন্দ্র পুতির নাম রেকমেন্ড করে পাঠিয়েছি, কিন্তু এখনো বোধহয় আরএসডি থেকে আসেনি রেকমেন্ডেশন, বুঝতে পারছি না।
আসলে তো ডক্টর বেহরা বোধহয় আজকে, ডক্টর বেহরা আজকে একটা ট্রেনিং এ আছে। আর ডক্টর বেহরা, আর ইউ অ্যাওয়্যার অফ দিস?
না, আসেনি এখনো।
হ্যাঁ, আসেনি, ঠিক আছে।
আসলে পাঠিয়ে দেওয়া হবে।
হ্যাঁ, আসলে তো পাঠিয়ে দেওয়া হবে।
ওকে ওকে,
ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা,
আর রিনিউয়ালটা বোধহয় এখন আসেনি আমাদের অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর এবং যারা পার্ট টাইম স্টাফ, রিনিউয়ালের প্রবলেমটা আছে।
renewal actually jete লাগে সেদিন, I don't know, but it will go the renewal. I think Kanjilal madam এরও বোধহয় awaited। হ্যাঁ,
এখনো হয়নি, একটু তাড়াতাড়ি হলো
ওটা। হ্যাঁ, ওটাকে দেখাচ্ছে। রিনিউয়াল উইল অলসো থিঙ্ক, বাট নাম্বার গুলো বাড়াতে হবে স্যার। নাম্বার গুলো ইউ হ্যাভ টু মেক
ম্যাডাম টিচার মেম্বার বাড়াতে পারলে, কোঅর্ডিনেটর, অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর, আমি, তাহলে আমরা একসাথে করতে পারতাম, মানে স্টুডেন্টদের মধ্যে এবং বাইরেও, যে নাম্বার অফ এনরোলমেন্ট বাড়াতে পারি কোনোভাবে, এটা আমাদের চেষ্টার মধ্যে আছে।
না, আপনার স্টুডেন্ট, আপনার কলেজের কত এনরোলমেন্ট?
আমার কলেজের এনরোলমেন্ট একটু কমেছে, এটা জেনারেল প্রবলেম, 4,500 নেমে এসছে, 5,500 থেকে।
মানে আমাকে একটা কথা বলুন, 4,500 যদি আপনাদের এনরোলমেন্ট থাকে, তার মধ্যে যদি মানে আপনার ইগনোর এনরোলমেন্ট,
কিছু স্টুডেন্ট মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি অনেক ওই স্টুডেন্ট ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ বারের জন্য পিছিয়ে যাচ্ছে, আর আমি তাদের মোটিভেট করছি যে এই সার্টিফিকেট কোর্সে জয়েন করার জন্য, টু এনহান্স দ্য স্কিল। এনইপির
মানে যদি জেনারেল ওরা স্টুডেন্ট 4,000 যে আপনার এনরোলমেন্ট আছে, তারা কি 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 প্রোগ্রামে যাচ্ছে আপনার কলেজের?
আমাদের কলেজে এমনি জেনারেল ডিগ্রি যেগুলো আছে সবকটাই কনভেনশনাল সাবজেক্ট, মানে মাইক্রোবায়োলজি আছে, কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স আছে, ওদের অ্যাডিশনাল সাবজেক্টের জন্য বলছি। কিন্তু অ্যাকচুয়ালি এই স্টুডেন্টদের মধ্যে এখন আপনি যদি ভাবেন, সিরিয়াস স্টুডেন্ট হচ্ছে 10%, সিরিয়াস স্টুডেন্ট যারা অ্যাকচুয়ালি পড়তে চায়। আপনি সব কলেজে খবর নিলে জানতে পারবেন, স্টুডেন্ট আসছে একমাত্র স্কলারশিপ পাওয়ার জন্য, পড়ার জন্যই আসছে না। এটাই হচ্ছে পশ্চিমবঙ্গের ট্রেন্ড এখন, স্কলারশিপ পাওয়ার জন্য আসছে। এর মধ্যে কিছু ইচ্ছুক স্টুডেন্ট আছে, তাদের মধ্যে আমরা চেষ্টা চালাচ্ছি, হয়তো এবারে পারবো আমরা বাড়াতে।
মানে আমার বক্তব্য হলো, এই 4,000 স্টুডেন্টকে যদি প্রপারলি আউটরিচ করা হয় যে এই অপরচুনিটিস গুলো আছে,
গতবারে করেও ছিলাম, এবারে আবার আমরা অ্যাপ্রোচ করব সবার কাছে, যখন অ্যাপ্লিকেশন সাইকেলটা ওপেন থাকবে সেটা আমরা চালিয়ে যাব।
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে। সো আই এম হ্যাপি টু টক টু ইউ, বিকজ আমার পুরুলিয়া নিয়ে মানে এত
এতে আসতে পারবেন। আমাদের যে ইন্ডাকশন প্রোগ্রাম 28 তারিখে হওয়ার,
নিশ্চয়ই চেষ্টা তো করবই, কারণ বাট ইউ নো হাউ ইট বিকামস ভেরি ডিফিকাল্ট অ্যাকচুয়ালি। এখানে মাঝে মাঝে আমার বেরিয়ে চলে আসে হঠাৎ করে, বাট আপনি করুন, আমি চেষ্টা করব একবার, কখন একবার বড় করে আউটরিচ আর ইন্ডাকশন প্রপারলি বড় করে করুন পুরুলিয়াতে, পুরো করে, ইউ নো, মি এন্ড মাই টিম উই উইল ডেফিনেটলি, আদারওয়াইজ এইটার মধ্যে ইন্ডাকশনে দেখছি কে যাচ্ছে আপনার ইয়েতে, ঠিক আছে? and নিশ্চয়ই চেষ্টা করব। নাম্বারটা বাড়ান, আমার জাস্টিফাইড, and I get pulled also, I will get pulled towards your আচ্ছা। আর anyone else, আর কেউ আপনাদের? বিবি কলেজ আসানসোল, নমস্কার।
हाँ नमस्कार मैडम।
नमस्ते, कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक है मैडम, actually I have heard all the discussions. We had applied for our MSc Geography June 2025 with all justification. We have no master degree in our geography course right now in our college, but we have more than 300 students per year in UG courses. So please look after this matter.
Okay.
And another thing is that for what is your main concern about regarding the enhancement of the enrollment in IGNOU courses? This is my proposal, madam. If you try to integrate with the regular UG courses with IGNOU courses, so that the student get dual degree, because
It is there.
it is
Dual
there,
degree,
but
it is
problem
there.
is that problem is that most of the cases the exam time is the overlapping, because our odd semester, even
So-
semester exam time
so
is June and December, and
Tell them maybe they will not come out at the same time with both the degrees, but इग्नू तो इग्नू में फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, तो फिर उसको एक साल मे बी वन सेशन ऑफ एग्जाम ड्रॉप करके नेक्स्ट सेशन में दे देंगे. हो सकता है कि एक ही साथ दोनों डिग्री लेके ना आए, लेकिन फिर भी तो 6 महीने बाद तो निकलेंगे ही ना. इट्स बिकॉज इग्नू का फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी देखिए, इट्स नॉट लाइक कन्वेंशनल सिस्टम ना. इस बार एग्जाम नहीं दिया तो नेक्स्ट टाइम दे देंगे.
yes, I know, madam. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But suppose the student want to appear, suppose June term exam, and during the June he has also semester exam or university exam. So obviously he will give preference, he or she will give preference to the university exam. So if formally there is a collaboration with the university, if you can approach to our university, we can integrate with them. So,
You have just proposed the most hardest thing to do, because this is something which even
no,
sometimes
there are many courses. There may be overlapping. Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes, it
right
happens
now,
all the time.
overlapping. If there is a under NEP, there is a through the academic credit transfer (ABC), so we can integrate with the university courses, and there is a credit transfer system is also there. So student will get convenient, and they will get realize that the university and the IGNOU courses, they are running with the integration. So
Yes, so right now, of course, that is a possibility, but this is like a policy level, decision. Really, it is a policy level thing. I cannot answer you right now about that. All I can tell you is, if they're taking admission in 2 different courses and there is there's a clash between exams, you should tell them that कोई बात नहीं, इग्नू में तो flexibility है, you have duration time, you have to think. तो एक student को अगर, if they're, like I said, if they're not coming out together with that a particular program, at the most within 6 months or something, they will get that other thing. So that is not really, but yes, it happens even in IGNOU courses also. Sometimes it happens, there's a clash of courses, but you can't do anything about it, and we really can't do anything, because these are all, and with 2 different universities, it is definitely a policy level decision, which you and me are not really capable of doing anything.
we are not in position to decide.
Yes, we can't do that, but you can tell them IGNOU is flexible. जो होता आया है, but anyway, we will after 6 months he or she will get.
আমরা অলরেডি অ্যাওয়ারনেস প্রোগ্রাম তো করছি, কোন নেই, স্টুডেন্টদেরকে বলছি আমরা, এবং রাইট নাও দ্য স্টুডেন্ট অলসো দে আর গ্র্যাজুয়ালি দে ট্রাই টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড অলসো দ্যাট their UG degree is not sufficient. So if they have another skill enhancement degree, certificate courses. So madam, you try to introduce more certificate courses, short-term certificate courses. As I right now, the under NEP value-added courses and internship courses, these are compulsory. So
Yes.
if the IGNOU provided these short-term courses as the internship or value-added courses, so we can compulsorily enroll them also. That
By the way, internship, we have now got into a collaboration with National Library. So for BLIs, MLIs, nowadays internship is going to happen with the National Library, which any serious student will really value. So in Calcutta National Library will be, so you can always have this as one of and I think आपका college आसानसोल में also SC ST का आपको करना पड़ेगा. You'll have to SC ST জন্য আপনাকে একটু outreach করতে হবে. ওই জায়গাটাতেও is a very high, is a strong belt of ST population. So ওখানের মধ্যে কিন্তু আপনি একটুখানি যদি 50% waiver আছে এখানে, so these areas you need to
madam, actually SC ST candidate there একটা problem আছে যে they have language barrier also. We have NSU also. The most of the SC candidate, they prefer NSU because their medium of language instruction is the Bengali.
we are trying to do that. We are trying to address, we are trying to address that.
English speaking student they prefer IGNOU, but SC students তারা বাংলাটা prefer করে.
ST তো হিন্দি স্পিকিং আপনাদের ওখানে, আর দি হিন্দি স্পিকিং ST
বাংলা
ওরাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ পড়ানো হয়।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। আর এনিওয়ে বলবেন আজকাল মানে প্রোগ্রামগুলোতে না বাংলাতে লেকচার দেওয়া হচ্ছে ওই ডিটিএইচ চ্যানেলগুলোতে, এসএলএম গুলোকে পুরো ট্রান্সলেট করে পাওয়ার পয়েন্ট বানানো হয়, বানিয়ে তো অ্যাটলিস্ট দিস শুড হেল্প, অ্যান্ড ইনফ্যাক্ট all of you should give me a feedback regarding how they are finding this DTH channels so that we can improve the quality. আমাদের কাছে 10টা DTH চ্যানেল এখন আছে, আমরা এখন দুটোকে চালাচ্ছি উইথ বাংলা, মানে সব যতগুলো প্রোগ্রাম চালাচ্ছি ওরা সবাই এসএলএম থেকেই ট্রান্সলেট করে পিপিটি করে পড়াচ্ছে। So this should help in some ways আর কি। There are two hands raised. Hiralal, হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম
Madam, Rehan will talk from my end. Rehan will talk, and I have sent some in-call messages also.
You take care. I will talk to Rehan. Dr. Rehan, आप बोलिए।
हाँ, मैम ये मैं कह रहा था कि ऐसा आपको तो पता है कि हमारा कॉलेज बहुत ही प्राइम प्लेस पे है। अगर हमें कुछ प्रोफेशनल कोर्स मिल जाता लाइक एमबीए, वैसे इसके पहले भी हमने वो एमएससी न्यूट्रिशन सबमिट कर चुके हैं, बट पता नहीं डॉक्यूमेंट्स शायद अभी तक प्रोसेस हुआ नहीं है। वेल हमने
not enough counselors। यानी एक
नहीं,
और बात है, irrespective of whether वो activation हो चुका है or not, your students can also be given the at least information of all these programs which they can take, and once that is there, that can also be a justification for which will help in the activation of the program। उनको ले लेने जे बोलिए कहीं और जहाँ पे वो एक्टिवेटेड है, उसके बाद it will be study। I'm just getting into that translation। Okay, so उनको लेने के लिए बोलिए, जब आप हमें पता चल जाएगा कि आपके कॉलेज में से इतने सारे रिस्पॉन्सेज आ रहे हैं, then automatically it will become easier to get the activation। But what is
सारे बच्चे को हम लोग मैम एडमिशन लेने के लिए कहते हैं, और स्पेशली हम लोग 2800 पे ही सेंड कर देते हैं। तो बहुत सारे बच्चे हमारे पास आते हैं मास्टर्स में एडमिशन लेने के लिए, एडमिशन न्यूट्रिशन में, तो वी यूज टू सेंड देम टू द डायरेक्टली टू द विकास भवन सेंटर 2800। वेल इसके अलावा सर मैम वो कह रहा था कि अगर हमें कुछ प्रोफेशनल कुछ कोर्स मिलता ना मैम तो बहुत अच्छा होता, जैसे एमबीए वगैरह अगर मिलता, तो चूंकि बहुत ही प्राइम प्लेस पे हमारा कॉलेज है, तो आई होप कि बहुत अच्छा हम कर पाएंगे ऐसे प्रोफेशनल कोर्स के लिए।
एमबीए आपका वहां पे आप ऐसा कीजिए ना, keep a list। This has happened very recently। there was an application of a particular college giving us thing, and they have given us they have actually, in spite of, although they are not our LSC, but they have shared all IGNOU materials with them, and they kept a database of students who have taken admission in IGNOU। So when they ask for an activation, it becomes much more easier। तो अगर MBA का आपका हो रहा है, आप देखिए ना आपके वहां से कितने जा रहे हैं, तो हमें बताइए उसके बारे में। we will have our supporting documents to headquarters saying that already so many students are willing to take, and then we can push that better। Study materials be prepared in Bengali under IK scheme। Acha, yes madam, as we have discussed, and it is also for each one of the principals out here, translation in Bangla is a very serious matter that we are going to take up, and we expect all of you to help us and assist us in that। We will very soon, we will share with you all these documents about where exactly we need translation, which areas, which courses, and what are the specialization we need। So accordingly aap log you be ready, because nowadays AI does the translation, we just need for vetting becomes important, so that for that we need professionals। So yes, study materials, this is one of our major one of our most important objective for Kolkata regional sector now। We are exploring that very seriously, so help us out, because Banglate translate korata should not be a problem for in Bengal, for every program। So not only MBA te amra already halfway jacchi, but there is still lapses, and I'm requesting you to I've already requested some of our principals to help me out, RC with all that। So just help us out with that। Let's see how, and we will slowly get into the other programs also। Career counseling, you are conducting career counseling in school? I know madam, you are Shoma madam, I know you have been very very proactive in all these things, and because we are we are located, we are proximity wise, we are closer. We've also had advantages of having you. So please carry on with all this and see how we can jointly, have more collaborative efforts and increase the enrollment for both of us. So thank you so much, all of you. If there is nothing else, or if there is anything, there will be a follow-up email going, please, and we'll be sending you a Google form also. Please let us know which are the areas that as a college you'd like to collaborate with us, and we'll send you the recording also, so so you also have the resources with you. Thank you very much for joining and sparing your valuable time with IGNOU RC Kolkata. I'm very hopeful, and I'm sure that we are going to take education to a different level altogether in Bengal, as ODL and conventional education. It is no longer an alternative scenario anymore. We are complementary. So from the point of view of a learner, from the point of view of a student, the education has to be holistic by getting open and distance and the third factor is AI. Let us see, unless we go through the open and distance thing, AI revolution will also have to come through, I think. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Namaskar. সবাই ভালো থাকবেন and take care of yourself and take care of college. Thank you very much.